Allow me to introduce Abel, a being so powerful that killing him is considered a temporary inconvenience. A warrior who can tear through armed personnel, summon weapons from nowhere, and return from death again and again. But his strength isn't the only terrifying thing about him. The Foundation once made the mistake of trying to control him, and that mistake would lead to one of the most infamous experiments in Foundation history. This is the story of SCP-076. Before we can understand Abel, we must understand the object that contains him. SCP-076 actually consists of two anomalies. The first is SCP-076-1, a massive stone cube measuring 3 meters on every side. It's constructed from a black metamorphic stone unlike anything currently understood by science. The cube contains a small chamber, in which is a stone coffin made of the same material. The chamber is sealed behind a door covered in ancient symbols and inscriptions. And inside the coffin, in the chamber, in the cube, is Abel. Okay, so the cube, SCP-076-1, has a door with all these locks on it. Inside the cube is the coffin, bunch of chains on it. Inside the coffin is our guy, SCP-076-2. That's it, bro. At first glance, Abel appears to be a normal, ordinary human male, but appearances can be deceiving. Because when Abel dies, he doesn't stay dead for very long. For most anomalies, death is a solution, but for Abel, it's just a minor inconvenience. When SCP-076-2 dies, his remains rapidly decompose, and within hours, it disappears completely. At first, it might sound like a victory for the Foundation. It isn't, because shortly after Abel's death, the cube responds. The door to the cube slams shut, and over the course of hours or days, Abel returns inside of the coffin. His memories, his personality, it all remains intact. The only question is when he will awaken, because when he does, Foundation personnel know he will be just as eager to escape as before. So what is the solution? They're not trying to contain a dangerous man, they're trying to contain an anomaly that refuses to stay dead. If Abel's ability to return from death wasn't enough, his combat capabilities may make him one of the most dangerous humanoid entities the Foundation has. Physically, he appears human, but the illusion falls apart as soon as he wakes up. He possesses incredible speed, strength, and reflexes. He has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to break through steel blast doors with his bare hands and easily eliminate heavily armored personnel before they even have time to react. Even more interesting is his apparent mastery of combat. Regardless of the weapon placed in his hands, Abel displays a level of skill that borders on impossible. Firearms, blades, improvised weapons. It makes little difference. He uses them all with terrifying efficiency. And if weapons aren't available, he simply creates one. Or summons them. Abel can manifest bladed weapons from nowhere, pulling them into existence as if they had always been there. To the Foundation, this is a nightmare scenario. Stopping him, while difficult, is possible, but it's an empty victory because he's just going to come back. The Foundation is nothing if not opportunistic. As global threats continued to emerge, some members of the Foundation began to wonder if certain anomalies could be used as assets. That idea would eventually lead to the creation of Mobile Task Force Omega-7, a unit unlike anything the Foundation has attempted before. Instead of relying solely on human personnel, Omega-7 was designed to utilize anomalies in the field. And at the center of it all was Abel. For a time, the experiment appeared to work. Abel proved highly effective in combat operations, demonstrating exactly why some people believed he could become the Foundation's greatest weapon. But there was one problem. Abel was never truly under their control. A bomb strapped around his neck was the only thing convincing him to behave, and only just. For a while, Omega-7 appeared to be a success. Missions were completed, threats were neutralized. It soon became clear that Abel wasn't being obedient, he was being satiated. And when the threats stopped coming, he grew bored. And Abel proved that he had remained exactly what he'd always been, a violent and unpredictable anomaly with his own motivations, and a seething hatred for humans. Eventually, the illusion fell apart. With nothing to entertain him, he turned on his own team, or rather, his captors. He managed to get the bomb off his neck, and there was nothing to stop him from rampaging. There were no survivors, because once the Foundation realized that there was no stopping him, they set off the on-site nuclear warhead, and everyone was killed. The only thing that survived was the cube and then later Abel. This lesson had a very high cost for the Foundation. It was paid not only in lives, but also in potential. For a time, they had an immortal warrior at the front lines, a weapon that was virtually unstoppable, but they made the mistake of forgetting what he really was. And if an animal becomes hungry enough, desperate enough, it will eat the people feeding it. SCP-076 is a fairly straightforward anomaly. What makes him so memorable is what he represents. Throughout the Foundation's history, there has always been the temptation to utilize entities rather than just contain them. Look at something dangerous and ask, what if it could be useful? SCP-076 is the clearest example of why that thinking is so dangerous. The Foundation didn't fail because Abel was too powerful. They failed because they convinced themselves that power and control were the same thing. They weren't. He was a hell of a lesson, and the Foundation learned the hard way. Today, Abel remains contained inside of SCP-076-1, waiting for the next time he awakes. This time, the Foundation knows they cannot trust him, they cannot control him, and they know that killing him only buys time. Abel wasn't the Foundation's greatest mistake. Believing they could control him was.